Hi everybody, how are you going? It has felt like ages since I've jumped on and done a live video, but hey, guess what? I'm back and I'm so full of excitement because there's so much I want to share with you about my journey over the last just over a week. And one of the things that kind of popped up this morning that I thought I could share with you was around the idea of the universe kind of giving you little nudges here and there. So I'll tell you what happened. Um, I was in LA and I'd been there for just one day, and I went on a hop on hop off bus tour so I could get my bearings of the area, and I didn't have a hat and it was in the 30s and I got very sunburnt, so sunburnt my nose was peeling, I was still red on my chest and everything was really bad. And so what I found was that I was panicking because I thought, oh my goodness, I've got to go on to the TV soon, and how am I going to deal with this sunburn? And so I went off to Sephora and I met a beautiful girl there. Her name was Teddy and she was amazing, and she showed me how to get rid of the sunburn on camera. So, and it all worked out perfectly. So it was fine. I mean, well, it was fine on my face, but you could still see my head was sunburnt, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, after that, I guess that was the longest time sitting down having that makeover in Sephora. Felt really weird and uncomfortable to me because one thing you don't know about me is I do not like looking at myself in the mirror. I hardly ever wear makeup. It's usually just a bit of lipstick if I do, and I don't use any foundation or anything like that. It's been like BB cream for the last 5 years. So sitting down in Sephora for over an hour and going over different foundations and concealers and this, that and the other was weird, but good at the same time. Anyway, so that all happens, and I come away from that experience and even being on TV thinking to myself, this is really cool. So then what happens is from LA, I go over to London, and TV thing happens there, all good. I know how to cover my sunburn now, it's great. And then 2 days later, I'm exploring and I go down a street called New Bond Street. And so New Bond, hey Emily, how are you going? Hey Julie, hey Sona. So I'm walking down New Bond Street, which is familiar to me off Monopoly, and it is like the most beautiful street ever. It's got all of the top name brands and beautiful wide roads, and there's Bentleys, there's Rolls Royces, there's Mercedes, everything's going up and down this street. And as I'm walking down, I walk past a skincare place and something tells me I need to go inside. So I go inside, and it's amazing because I have this skin consultation, and so I'm learning about how to use like an exfoliator and this, that and the other, and I'm kind of interested. I'm still curious as to why I felt the need to go in. So anyway, this guy, he's like putting stuff from the Dead Sea on my face and da-da-da-da. It's all going very well. I'm loving it. But then he goes to get me some fresh water to rinse my face. And as he does, he says to me, oh, what do you do? And I say to him, oh, I'm a business coach. And then he says to me, all right. And then we start talking about business and integrating spirituality into the business and about beliefs and all of this sort of stuff. And then he says to me, just quite off the cuff, well, you know, Brooklyn, your face is your business card. And straight when he said that, I thought to myself, oh my God, I think he's right. Well, it's partly right. My face is my business card, but my energy is my business card as well. Anyway. So he just makes this off the cuff remark and then goes back about doing my face and everything. I leave there and I walk from New Bond Street to this really cool bookshop actually called Daunt. I'll put a photo up so you can see it after. So Daunt is this bookstore. It's got a little mezzanine level and all these big stained glass windows in arches and everything. It's just gorgeous. But as I'm walking to Daunt, I can't get his words out of my mind about my face being my business card. Anyway, the next day, it's still on my mind, and I'm thinking to myself, why do I keep hearing this? Why am I still thinking about this? And I thought to myself, do you know what? I'm going to go with it. I'm just going to see it as a sign, a universal nudge, if you like, that I need to do something about my appearance. So that's what I do. My mum has said to me, hey, while you're over in London, could you go to a few shops for me? So one of those shops was Harrods. You know, my mum, she loves watching all of these documentaries on TV about Selfridges and Harrods and Liberty. So my mission on this day was to go to each of those stores and buy mum something little from each of those stores. So she had something special when I got back. So I'm in Harrods and I'm walking along, and then this lady, she says, she just sort of looks at me and I'm looking at her, and it's like we have this moment of recognition. And then I think, where do I know her from? And anyway, she's looking at me thinking the same thing. So we meet in the middle, and she's from Dior, and she says, hey, you know, come over. And I said, okay. So we sit down, start talking. She goes, oh, what are you looking for? I said, actually, I was just kind of walking through. I wasn't planning on buying anything. I said, but I do need lipstick. So she said, okay, no problem. So as we're mucking around with the lipstick, she says to me, hey, you know, I feel like I know you. And I said, that's so strange, because I was feeling like I know you too. And so we had this whole thing, and we couldn't figure out where we knew each other from. So we came to the conclusion that we don't. Anyway, as we're playing with the lipstick, she says to me, are you spiritual? And I say, yes, are you? And she says, I am. And so we had this whole conversation then about, it was about the normal things for me, like gratitude and the role of beliefs and forgiveness and all this sort of stuff. And then she starts talking to me about, you know, do you believe that what you put out, you get back? And I said, yeah, I do to some extent. I think that's really important, that you've got to have the right intention when you act. And so we were talking about this, and then she said that she was trying to work on getting a new position with Cartier. So I was so happy for her. But it was just really lovely how we didn't know each other, yet there was this, I can't only describe it really as overwhelming sense of familiarity. And, you know, just this, I just knew that I had to meet with her, and she just knew she had to meet with me. And it was really cool, because how many times has that ever happened? Not many, right? And then I go from hers and I go over to Selfridges. And I've still got this voice in my head saying, your face is your business card. So I'm over at Selfridges. And then, yeah, Clinique guy comes over and he says, hey, let's do a makeover. So I'm like, yep, sure, why not? So then we played around with some foundations and stuff like that. And it was just really nice. And I guess for me, it was a big deal because, as I said, I never look at myself in the mirror. I've never felt comfortable looking at myself. Watching myself on these videos, I don't do it. I just put the video up and then I never look at it again. And so it was a big deal for me to be able to sit down and be able to let people touch my face and have a look at myself in the mirror and all of that. But it's happened for a reason. And what happened, I think, too, was that having this experience of being called to go overseas and being invited overseas to share my message, that's exactly what I want to do, right? I want to have an impact on the world, and now I was given the opportunities to do that. But I also understand now that I'm always growing and I'm always evolving, and that while I had ideas, and most of you will know if you go back through any of my videos, I never wear makeup, apart from recently I started wearing lipstick. I never wear makeup, and I always wear a black t-shirt. So here's the thing. I know now that if I want to start leveling up my business, I need to take better care of myself, and I need to present myself in a way that's going to be consistent with the message that I'm trying to convey for all of you guys about your business. And so I have to demonstrate that I'm evolving. I have to demonstrate that I'm learning. I have to demonstrate that I'm changing, because if I want you guys to up level, if I want you guys to change, if I want you guys to face your fears, I have to lead by example. So what you're going to see from me from now on is I'm going to start making more of an effort for how I present myself, especially on camera and on these videos. So although I'm still in my black t-shirt, I don't know if I'll ever get rid of the black t-shirt, but maybe I'll just wear different black clothes. I might start wearing a little jacket, do my hair properly. Today I did put makeup on. And so I'll start introducing these changes step by step by step. I'll just go at my own pace. I'm better with incremental change rather than a big things. So I'll make these incremental changes and you'll see them over time. And I hope that when you see me go through these changes and when you see me face my fears, that it helps you see that it's okay for you to face some of yours as well. And that's the lesson. So that one. And the other thing was, of course, tuning in to your intuition, listening to those little nudges from the universe, because you just never know where they're going to lead you. Yeah. And I know that for somebody who doesn't like makeup and who doesn't like looking at herself in the mirror and who doesn't take good care of her like appearance, that I got a quick succession of really fast nudges from the universe with Sephora in LA, with Clinique, with Dior in London, and with the cosmetics place in London as well, that I just couldn't ignore it. I mean, 4 things in less than a week. I could not ignore that. Okay, I get the message loud and clear. So anyway, guys, if you need help with any of your changes, of course, hit me up with a private message or leave a comment here. I'm happy to coach you through it and guide you through it and give you all of the support that you need. I know what it's like to step outside your comfort zone, and trust me, it's a lot easier when you've got somebody behind you cheering you on from the sidelines, showing you can do it and telling you can do it and believing in you. And I absolutely do believe in you. Guys, if I can do this, you can absolutely do this. All right? Have an amazing Wednesday. It's so good to be back. If you're not in my group called Prosperous You, the Spiritual PhD for Business, feel free to head on over. Everybody's welcome to join. And I'll talk to you then. Bye, guys.